Hey everybody, this is Rebel Builder and I have a mock for you here. This is Ahch-To from the end of The Force Awakens. Now this build wasn't actually built by me. This one was done by my brother, but it was something I wanted to film and show you guys. Now this is certainly the biggest mock I've ever featured on my channel, but it's got some really cool construction. A lot of different rock techniques here, different slopes, going in different directions. Some really cool things and lots of green, regular green and dark green, even some transparent green, some sand green here, just trying to give it these different looks of moss and greenery and all sorts of different growth that we see at the end of The Force Awakens. And you can see kind of the beginning of the mock starts here with this little rockwork section and the UCS Falcon. Now the Falcon's mine. I did do a Force Awakens style radar dish on top of this thing. That was my contribution to the whole thing. We've got Chewie and R2 down here waiting by the Falcon while Rey goes off on her little hike. Anytime you do some sort of terrain or kind of real world scene, there's going to be a little creative license. But generally, there's the path that winds up, got these little bricks. And that's something very distinctive you see in the shots, just kind of, these man-made kind of layers of brick going up here. And the path winds up here and comes up here. In this section here is just some cool techniques trying to give it the look of some, ancient man-made little statues or something versus the natural rock. This section's cool here. This kind of a little peak of rock. And I like how he snuck in one of those big ugly rock pieces. And another one on this side, but it actually fits really well. And you can also see this dark blue transparent stuff here, which turns to other transparent blue shades. Kind of just some little bits of river or creek and some waterfalls running down the side. Now here's a shot of the back, and we can see a couple little caves down here, some more waterfalls happening over here. But there's this cool little feature here where there's actually this little hut structure. And I think that maybe was a little prescient. Some sort of place where Luke is hanging out all this time. And here's a shot from the other side of this hut. You can kind of see he's got a little campfire, a little frying pan happening there. I think that's kind of clever. And from this angle you can see how the path kind of winds up here. Some more of that brickwork, sorry Rey, leads up to the very top. And here's the very top of the mock. This is much more of a peak as opposed to maybe what we'd see in Ireland, but I got Luke here, and there's even this little rock sticking up here, We see that at the end of The Force Awakens, and people speculated about what that could be. Is that a tombstone? When I guess J.J. Abrams just kind of came out and said, it's just a rock. I think this is a cool shot here where you can kind of start to really get some sense of scale of this whole thing. But it was really built pretty smartly. It actually just kind of comes apart in these sections, slides apart here. My brother actually lives in another state, so transportability was something that was definitely part of the necessity to this whole thing. But just some platforms built up here, so you got sections like this where it's not super chunky, it's not super heavy, it's not like the whole layer of Duplo built up. So the whole mock is like that. It all kind of just slides together. And here's a little look at the minifigures we used, just the standard Chewbacca, R2, and Rey. That's still Force Awakens Rey. And for Luke, since we haven't got a Luke minifigure here, really this is just a young Obi-Wan Kenobi, say episode 3 torso and pants with an old Obi-Wan Kenobi face, a gray cape, the gray hand of course, and then the pretty cool kind of old man wild hair, gray hair on top of him. Makes for a pretty convincing Luke. I think that's going to be sort of kind of close to what we're going to end up with. So there it is, Ahch-To from The Force Awakens and presumably The Last Jedi. Now actually I'm really surprised that more people haven't tried to take on a build like this, since it's pretty iconic considering it was only in The Force Awakens for a couple of minutes, and it's going to be in the new movie. I think it's a pretty striking scene, and I can't wait to see it in The Last Jedi. But I'd love to hear what you think about this, so leave me a comment down below. Let's have a little discussion about this. And if you like what you saw, please hit that thumbs up video. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I got some cool builds coming and you don't want to miss out on those. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back soon.